There are times Easter eggs are hidden sneakily in the background. Other times they're right in front of our faces, but we still manage to miss them. Such as Marvel sneakily revealing the release date of the No Way Home trailer in one of their other works. Huh? You know about that one? In this video, we are going to take a look at some Easter eggs hidden in movies and TV shows that were right in front of us the whole time, yet we still managed to somehow miss it. Let's take a look. For every minute of WandaVision, there's 10 different theories as to the hidden meaning of what we're seeing? You know, like Mephisto being everywhere. Another instance of this is the mysterious August 23rd date on the calendar, which is highlighted by a heart which neither Wanda and Vision can remember why it's important. In the show, it was revealed that it was the dinner plans involving the hearts, but Marvel fans have always thought there was more importance to the date, and that turned out to be correct. That's because, on August 23rd, Marvel decided to release the trailer for the highly anticipated Spider-Man No Way Home, which revealed to us the multiverse and brought back some familiar faces, such as Alfred Molina's Doc Ock.
Hello, Peter.
But this isn't the only example of an important date in a Marvel Disney Plus show that pays reference to another MCU project. In the beginning of the Loki credits, there's a coffee pot with a label reading 800 BC, which is likely a reference to the Eternals, which, at one point in the movie at least, is set in Babylon 800 BC. Keeping on with the Marvel train for a moment, we have been waiting, and not so patiently, for the mutants, and in particular the likes of Wolverine and Magneto, to make their appearance in the MCU. But for now, we are still waiting. But that being said, a mutant has appeared in the MCU already, meaning that the X-Men should be on their way. The mutant that we are referring to is Ursa Major, who appears in a brief scene in Black Widow arm wrestling Alexei, making him to be the first mutant to make their appearance in the MCU. Admittedly, this could just be another actor trolling us, but we're gonna roll with it here. Last up on the Marvel train, Marvel is known for having many Easter eggs in their movies, and more often or not, it's relating to other MCU projects and the comic books that inspired them, but from time to time, they do make references to movies outside of the MCU. For example, Samuel L. Jackson has had more roles in his career than Marvel has Easter eggs in their movies, but two of his most famous are Nick Fury in the MCU and Jules in Pulp Fiction. Marvel makes reference to Jules in Captain America the Winter Soldier with the path of the righteous man from the Bible verse Ezekiel 25:17, which of course Jules famously recites in Pulp Fiction, with a couple of extra mother blankers here and there. Tarantino himself makes a reference to the movie In From Dusk Till Dawn, as it features the Big Kahuna Burger from Pulp Fiction. Before he was a part of the DCEU and whatever his relationship with the DCEU is now, Zack Snyder was the director of another comic book movie, bringing Alan Moore's classic graphic novel Watchmen to the big screen, but basically foreboding his involvement with the DCEU. Snyder made some references to DC Comics, with one of them being the inclusion of Joe Chill, the man who killed Batman's parents and started him on his way to becoming the Caped Crusader. In the opening credits, we can see Night Owl punching a man who just happens to look a lot like Chill. Snyder also pays reference to Watchmen in the Justice League, with Batman's outfit being somewhat reminiscent of Night Owl. Ooh, also, fun fact, Zack Snyder also managed to sneak a test shot of Rorschach in the trailer for 300 as he was developing Watchmen at the time. George Lucas is the man behind two of the biggest franchises of all time, Indiana Jones and Star Wars. And with there being that special connection, it is unsurprising that Lucas makes a secret reference to Star Wars in Indy. We are referring to the inclusion of R2-D2 and C-3PO in hieroglyphic form, and we can see them hidden in the background as Indy goes artifact hunting. R2 also makes an, albeit brief, appearance in another major franchise, with him being spotted by eagle-eyed viewers drifting amongst the debris in Star Trek Into Darkness. But these aren't the only instances of Star Wars Easter eggs hidden in other movies and franchises, and seeing as Spielberg and Lucas have such a good relationship, Spielberg makes a lot of references to his friends' series in his movies. Lucas even appeared in Hook, with him and Carrie Fisher spotted kissing on the bridge during the film's opening, while Yoda even appears in costume form in E.T. Lucas returned the favor though with an alien species that are very reminiscent of the extraterrestrial spotted in Phantom Menace, with one of them even being called Grebleeps or Greebleeps, that's Spielberg spelled backwards. Disney are known for having their characters appear in other works, with Scar showing up in Hercules and the carpet from Aladdin rocking up in Beauty and the Beast. But the best one? Yeah, that's gotta be the brief cameo from Rapunzel and Eugene, aka Flynn Rider, who appear as the castle gates are open for the first time prior to Elsa's coronation. Did you see it? There's also that whole connected theory, which suggests that Tarzan is also Elsa and Anna's brother, but that's a whole different can of worms. Pixar are also known for their constant Easter eggs and references to their other movies, usually the next one to be released, with Finding Nemo being referenced in Monsters, Inc., Finding Nemo placing a subtle Easter egg for The Incredibles referencing Ratatouille, and so on. But they also make reference to other movies entirely, with Toy Story referencing tons of other movies, with Studio Ghibli's My Neighbor Totoro even showing up in Toy Story 3. But the best reference has to be the first movie's The Shining Easter egg, with the carpet in Sid's house looking very similar to the one found at the Overlook Hotel, as well as this Shining Easter egg, the room 237, you know, where the bathtub woman is in the film. Yeah, that's also referenced throughout the trilogy. Also, the Binford toolbox that Woody finds himself trapped under in Sid's room, that's a reference to Bud Lightyear actor Tim Allen's sitcom Home Improvement. Heath Ledger is best known for his role as the Joker in Dark Knight these days, but before he was the clown prince of crime, Ledger starred as William Thatcher in A Knight's Tale, a loose adaptation of the Canterbury Tales. But the movie often breaks out of its medieval setting and instead makes some pop culture references, with a very familiar logo being spotted in the movie. As William looks for new armor to wear, he turns to a talented female blacksmith who has designed her own lightweight gear. To give it her personal signature, she engraves a very familiar symbol on the chest, which looks a lot like the Nike logo. Wild Wild West. That was a universally loved movie, right? Well, okay. But Men in Black actually was though, right? Both movies, of course, star Will Smith, and they were both also released on July 4th weekend as the big summer blockbuster. But the connection between the two runs deeper than that, and there's actually a reference to Men in Black in Wild Wild West. As Will Smith's character Jim West returns to the train to stock back up on weapons, he's met by an empty compartment. However, that is not the most interesting part, as if you look very closely, you may notice that one of the empty slots has a familiar label, with there being a weapon called
Noisy Cricket.
Of course, the Noisy Cricket was Will Smith's Men in Black character Jay's gun in the movie, which turned out to be a little more powerful than Jay was expecting. There has been some great foreshadowing of deaths in movies, such as the use of oranges in The Godfather, and every time you see a character with the vitamin-rich fruit, you know that they're gonna meet a likely grisly, untimely end. Whether it be a whole orange, an orange peel in a drink, or an orange slice placed in your mouth to entertain your grandkids, if you see a character with an orange, they are gonna die. Martin Scorsese does a similar thing in his crime thriller The Departed, although it's even more subtle than the oranges. While X marks the spot for pirates, it marks death in The Departed, as every time an X is seen in a frame with a character, they end up dying. This includes, and spoiler warning for The Departed here, Leonardo DiCaprio's Billy Costigan and Matt Damon's Colin Sullivan. Mark Wahlberg's Sergeant Dingham is never seen with an X as he makes it out of the movie alive. Let's end with the movie that the term Easter egg likely came from. For the Rocky Horror Picture Show, the cast and crew had a full-blown Easter egg hunt, but couldn't find them all before filming, meaning that a number of actual Easter eggs can be seen throughout the movie.